You make it sound like math is your puppet and it will do your bidding. What kind of pure mathematician are you?
A little bit of various different things, but it's generally in algebraic geometry, and then there's sort of either a number theoretic feel or a combinatorial feel to it. Connections between algebra and geometry, and there's this well-established dictionary between the two.
Mm-hmm.
The dictionary can also be linked between geometric phenomena and combinatorial ones as well.
You're always working between these two kinds of sets of ideas. It's about building these connections.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that a lot of our kind of cultural images of mathematicians are always about, you think about a beautiful mind and he's like writing on the walls and stuff like that, and you have at least set yourself up to be able to write on the walls
anywhere, yeah.
Quite nicely.
I find being completely surrounded by whiteboards is helpful for my own creativity.
It seems like every time I walk past your office, there's a couple different people in here and you're all writing on one of these whiteboards and talking to each other about things and seem very excited. Why is collaboration so important to what you do?
When I collaborate, I learn a lot more than I would just individually. And I also find that progress is a lot faster because different people are going to have different backgrounds, mathematical backgrounds, and they bring different things to the table. A lot of my collaborations are about making connections between two different areas. Naturally, I'm going to have an intuition that I built up from one area, someone else is going to have intuition that they built up from a different area, and it's building that bridge that I find especially fun. I was just at a conference one time, just during a coffee break, and we were making small talk, and he said he works in this particular area, and I said, oh, well, here's an idea I had 10 years ago, but I definitely don't know enough to make any of this precise, and then we just started chatting, and now we've been working together for about 5 years. So.
Kind of your academic meet cute.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to picture how that small talk would go. Like, oh, hi, where are you from? I'm from here.
Right,
what do you think of the conference? This coffee isn't very good. Anyway, I have a question for you about the mysteries of the universe. So, apparently there is a problem you have that the department calls your white whale.
So I give you these two kind of shapes, and there's a question of what kind of similar subshapes can you find in these? So here, there's sort of like this little 2x2 block, and this guy also has a 2x2 block.
Okay.
And there's a question of how many similar subshapes can you find in this?
So, like, these guys could be the same as these guys?
Yeah, except that there's one other rule, which is they have to be justified all the way to the side. So this shape kind of looks like this shape, but it's not all the way justified.
Because this guy's in the way.
Because this guy's in the way, exactly.
Okay.
So there are some rules about shapes that are sort of toward the boundary, and you want to know how many of those common shapes can you have versus the amount of common space that these things are taking up. So if I literally overlapped this shape and this shape, what you would get is this shape is common to both of these shapes over here. And there's a question of what's the ratio between those two? Is one bigger than the other or not? 3D visualization I'm very, very bad with. I just needed to see the blocks in order to make this work.
On the one hand, you're talking about something so wildly outside of, what the ordinary person thinks about when they think about math or geometry. But when you put it like this, it feels very approachable. I'm not saying that I'm going to be able to solve your problem, but I'm like, well, I can stack blocks.
No,
that's not hard.
That's one of the things that I love about this problem is, it does feel very approachable, right? And it does feel like if you just stumble across the right configuration of blocks, then there you go. Maybe you've come up with a counterexample.
What are you watching right now?
Cooking shows. That's mainly what my wife and I have been watching.
Do you have a favorite shape?
That'll probably be the 17 gun.
The what now?
The 17 gun.
Explain.
It's just like a square. It has 4 equal sides. 17 gun has 17 equal sides.
So like a tart dish, or is it?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite number?
I think my favorite number would be 91.
Why?
I learned from John Conway that that's the first number that looks prime, but it isn't.
What's a divisible by? Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thanks, Melody. This is a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed it. I'm very confused, but in a fun, puzzly way.